Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? How are you doing this morning, this day? Are you ready to have breakfast in the next hour? You will be with me these 40 minutes. How are you? Hello, Vicky. How's the rest? Who's here? Who's here? Tell me who's here. Write me like, I don't know, hello, maybe. Hello, Alexis. Hello, Carlos. Hernan already had breakfast. How are you? Says Ana. I'm good. Thank you very much. Thank you for asking. Luis Gerardo says hello. Ángel says hola. Hola. Hernan, all things. Michelle. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Vicky.
Hola, amigo.
How are you guys? I hope you're good. I hope you're fine. If you had breakfast, that it's okay. You can have a second breakfast in the next break. Hello, Bernardo. How are you? Well, guys, today we will talk about one of the most important, and I think it's like the foundation of the new Spain, and that is, I hope so. Today we will talk about one of the first and one of the main activities, economic activities of the new Spain. Because we talked yesterday about progress, and if you think change was equal to progress, and if you believe that the progress was a good thing, today we will talk about progress in the new Spain and how they change things, how they change the game for the people who live there. And I will start today with a question in Nearpods for you that my producer right here will kindly share with you in the chat. So there's howdy. Lauro, what happened? Are you running to your classes? What happened to you? There's the Nearpod right there. The code is 7SXCP. Go there. And there's a little question for you there before we start. Thank you. They share also the Nearpod with you in there. So make sure that you enter to the Nearpod today, because I want to make sure that that we are in sync before I start my talk. I want to make sure that we're in sync there. Remember, the code is 7SXCP in there. And the people who enter already, thank you very much. Thank you for the people who's there. Hello, Tomas. How are you? It's nice to see you. I know that you are Tomas because the name of your channel. I mean, I'm not sure, but I think it's you. Follow Tomas in his channel. This is on risks. So, did you enter to the Nearpod? Did you can write? Tell me if you can write in there. Because there's a question. There's a question right there that you need to tell me. Yes, I'm Tomas. I knew it. And the first question that it's right there in the screen. And you can see that question. The first question that I'm going to ask you is, do you consider that the Mesoamerican inhabitants have seen this new activity as progress? Do you consider that mining, because mining was the main activity in the New Spain, do you consider that the people in Mesoamerica, the inhabitants that were there, do you consider that they think this as a progress? Because as we remember, they take a lot of care to to all natural beauties around there. They respect and they have go for everything. So I want to know your opinion. Do you think or do you consider that the Mesoamerican inhabitants have seen this new activity, I'm talking about mining, as progress? Now that we talked yesterday about progress, we talked about changes, we talked about how a progress is a change and how's equal or is not equal. I mean, it is up to you. It was your opinion. But do you think that the Mesoamerican people was like, whoa, 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 what am I doing? I mean, I'm baptized. I had a whole new name. Do you think? No, I didn't finish, says Vicky. Did I take you out? Or what? What happened? What happened, Vicky? Can we return to the near path? Because I think there's some people writing in there. Nope. Well, don't worry. We'll come back to the near path. It uploaded it by itself. So I see that. Did somebody already finish to write their opinion in there? It happens. I don't know why that happens to Nearpod, but it is very common. But you click and it's there. So, what happened, guys? What is your opinion there? Do you consider that the Mesoamerican inhabitants have seen this new activity as progress? I will go and check your answers. Anna, you're done. I think it's loading because I cannot see your answer there. Tell me if you can write in there. Tell me if you can write, and if you don't, tell me right there. And I want to know your opinions. Oh, it's there. I think they probably did, but not all of them, since some might have already knew about it. But Hernan says yes, a simple yes. Anna says, I think that maybe for most part of the population, they considered it, but not everybody was happy. Luis Gerardo says, I think yes, because maybe they saw it as a change and as a new progress. Laura says yes, because they have been refining the mining processes. Nice. What about the rest of you? Tomas, what do you think? I know that you are there. Who else was there? Vicky, I want to know what is the rest of your answer. Since I might have already knew this, but what? What happened next? Hernan says yes, because they lived there and saw them doing that, and then said, oh, we can make money from this. And yearly, well, it's not like the Mesoamerican people control the mining, so they cannot be like, oh wow, I can get gold from this. I will get gold and I will be rich. It's not kind of like that. The crown share most of the parts with the rest of the crown. It's not like the Mesoamerican people. But do you think, like, the people in Mesoamerica, the people who live there, Hernan says, of course they didn't. Of course. But yes, imagine there. You are like there living your life freely, and then somebody came and tells you like, won't mind this and give me stones. Indeed. Since I will tell you a little bit, since 1540, when the Spanish already consolidates control over the New Spain, we have now a whole new civilization, a whole new society, and they want gold, they want all the good things in here in her new house, in their new home. So they were looking for an economical foundation. They knew for something more. What was that economical foundation? Well, they realized that these places were rich in silver and in gold. Kaching, kaching, kaching. That's why they came here in the first place. The Spanish found one of the richest mines in silver and gold in here for 3 centuries. For 3 centuries, the silver and the gold of America became the source of the circulating metal, of the world's circulating metal. And this placed America in the world history. So that's why we entered into the world history, because we became important because all the riches of the mining. The silver was extracted from the mines through some very complex procedures, and the Spanish developed extractions and refining and amalgamation, and we will talk about it in class. What is amalgamation? We will say it in class. And for this, the silvers from the mines had to be taken to the mines, and they put it and circulated in bars, and the coin was minted and put it into circulation. The royal estate, of course, la Hacienda Real, imposed a tax because they wanted tax since the beginning of time. And they put a tax that was the mining tax, and they collect 10% of each silver bar. And from these silver bars were created the silver pesos. And they had a value of 8 reales. And this was the highest value between everything. So they shared los reales, and they shared the silver pesos between the highest spheres, of course, because everything goes up. That's why, Hernan, they cannot make a profit of this, of the mining, the pre-Hispanic people, because everything was for the highest spheres. That means the church, and that means the state. The people who were humble, the people who were artisans, the people who were farmers, the workers, and actually the average people did not use the silver peso, nor did it reach them. You cannot have a peso, a silver peso. Why? Because you were nothing. Basically, that's why sometimes the miners get paid with these silver pesos, but it doesn't work a lot. Why? Because in the market there weren't many silver pesos. It's like you walk with euros and you try to pay with euros in, I don't know, la tiendita de la esquina. You go and like, here, I'm gonna take some chips and I will take a Coke. Here, 5 euros. I cannot accept this because I don't have the currency for you. So in the market there were not many silver pesos. They were real, and they exist real, reales, and medio reales, and that's right here. There's no other currency in the New Spain. There weren't a less or a small amount of pesos. So the transactions between the people, between the average people, could not be made with this currency. They cannot use or implement this currency, which so they create the merchants, because creativity. The merchants invent a new currency, and this new currency was called tlacos, los tlacos, and they were the tlacos were made right here. It is super interesting, and all of this you can find in la Casa de la Moneda in Ciudad de México. So, cachín, los tlacos are made or were made about cardboard. They use cardboard, they use leather, they use a lot of things. They use a lot of different materials to make their own currency, because they didn't have money. They didn't have the currency that the high spheres use. So they use the tlacos, and it's really interesting to see how different are the little the little money that they have, and they call and they use tlacos when they want to buy food or when in the general market, and sometimes they pay with real de ocho, que son los pesos de plata. But the people who sold things didn't have a smaller coin, so he returned or she returned tlacos instead, and in the long run it caused problems. Tlacos are like cookies. Well, if you find the shape of cookies, maybe they look like emperor cookies. You think? Well, this one, only this one, that's in the shape of a heart. I mean, I don't know emperors with shape of a heart. So in the long run, imagine this: you go to the store, and you pay with, I don't know, $10, and because you're in Mexico, the owner will give you in return, I don't know, 10 pesos or 20 pesos or 100 pesos. And it was a problem because I have the highest currency, and you give me this, you give me coins made of made of cardboard. No, sir. So that generates a problem. But silver had an enormous importance, and this was recognized by a person that is called Humble. When he visits here, he says, "It is impossible to visit this building without remembering that more than 20 million strong pesos have come out in this space in less than 300 years." And this reflects the impact that those currency had in the faith and in the peoples of Europe. So it is super important, and that's why it's not the tlacos, but los reales and los pesos de plata. He's talking about the silver peso. And the silver peso circulate around the world. So the silver peso leaves Mexico and travels all around Europe, all around Asia, all around China. China was a massive consumer of silver pesos, so it goes wild and free. At the beginning of the war of independence war in North America, the United States print paper money, and the legend that it has there is, it says 20 Spanish $1,000, and those were stamped in there. Look, it is super interesting that, because this the American soldiers had this in her hands, and if they were defeated, they will give the money, or the paper money. And this legend were here. That means that's the importance of the silver peso. It says 20 Spanish mil dollars was stamped, and the Spanish pesos were like the dollar, since the dollar became the currency of the USA. So that means that el silver peso, or the silver peso, was the equivalent of a dollar. So we can say that el silver peso, or the gold peso, was like the grandparent of the dollar. The dollar comes from the silver peso. So that's an interesting fact of the New Spain. So we have the highest currency in history. So the importance of the Mexican silvers is what they also print, and they also print in Santo Domingo, they print in Cartagena, they print in Bogotá, in Lima, Potosí, Santiago de Chile, and that helps us to explain why after the independence, and after everybody went home, her natural home, we have left Mexican pesos, we have left Argentine pesos, we have Colombian pesos, we have Chilean pesos, because the silver peso was like the foundation of the economy in the New Spain. And that's why everybody is called pesos, because we keep the name. From this point, are we having questions? Are we good? Do you find it interesting? What do you think, guys? Tell me in the comments. What do you think, Hernan? Do you know that the dollar was the grandson of the silver peso? Did somebody knew that or not? Tell me. Yes, you knew? You knew that already? Oh no, I'm reading another yes. I'm reading an old yes. So guys, I will share again an earpod with you. I will share... What? Why? I will share another earpod with you. Oh well, the same. Why didn't they do the dollar in the first place? Because they didn't have one. They didn't have dollars, so they have to use another type of currency. That's why. So if you go back, why countries have different currencies? That's a good question. Why do you think that? I mean, we have peso, and Argentina have pesos. I don't know, Peru has pesos also. But it has different value. We need to ask like why the money devaluates. That's a very good and interesting question that we can answer in class. Or if you want to research, we can answer right now. But go to the same nearpod from the beginning, and you will find another question right there. Let me share with you again, and let me go through another question. The second question is, why do you think the extraction of silver was important for the Spanish crown? You will go there, you will go to the nearpod, and you will check, and you will tell me with your own opinion, why do you think the extraction of silver was important for the Spanish crown? Do you think they just want to have fun with that? Do you think they knew, like, in this place we will find silver, or we will find gold? Tell me, what do you think? Why do you think the extraction of silver was important for the Spanish crown? Tell me, tell me, tell me. I mean, make sure that you post your answer, and remember that it takes a little while to appear on my screen. But don't be shy and share your answers in there. Tell me your opinion. And Nan says because it was a medal that they wanted for maybe status or having something shiny. maybe they want something shiny. It makes everything difficult. Well, yes. If you know how to administrate and you know the currency of each one, Laura says because they found a way to sell it as the highest price. Later also was used as a symbol of having a lot of money by having cutlery made of silver. Anna says I think it helped them to create weapons, finance wars, or create new things. Nice. Caro says, I think it was important because they think the silver was something important and only the people rich can have more, so they wanted a crown. Nice. Yes, I mean all the gold, all the silver was shared, was like the highest part was for the Spanish crown, and then they share like the findings with the people who help, but they never share it with the people who actually extracted. Who else thinks that? I know that Tomas is there someplace. What do you think, Tomas? Why do you think the extraction of silver was important for the Spanish crown? Or as I remember, Bernardo was there. Bernardo, why do you think that? Why do you think it was so important that they have to come to another place, to another country, to another continent and extract silver and gold? Why do you think? Was that hunger of power? And if no one else wants to share something, we can go right next to our next question. And our next question says the next. What obstacles do you consider that the Spanish crown had in the growth of the mining activity? Do you think that they had obstacles or not? Like they had everything easy. They didn't have problems to extract gold and silver. Or do you think that they had obstacles? And if you do think that, tell me, what kind of obstacles do you think they share? Because it was the Spanish crown. It was a very important institution. Do you think that the highest institution has problems or obstacles? Tell me. If I remember, Vicky's in the chat, Lauro, Hernan, Tomás, Ana, Caro. Who else is there? Bernardo. So tell me, guys, what obstacles do you consider that the Spanish crown had in the growth of mining activity? Because we can say like, nah, they didn't have problems. They just go there and put some people to work on it. Or yes, they had problems. I mean, I know that one of the most difficult problems that they had is that they didn't have a lot of resources to accomplish what the crown was asking. Like you need to give me, I don't know, 10 pounds of gold. Maybe they didn't have the resources to take 10 pounds of gold in there. So what obstacles did you consider that they had? Or I don't know, maybe Maybe the people who live there didn't want to use the mine, or maybe they didn't want to work for them. Who knows? Marcelo, hello. I think that some obstacles are the caves and also more people that want silver. Very good, Marcelo. I didn't know you were here, Marcelo. Hello, hello. How are you? Anna says, I believe that they had lacked unlimited resources. They were short on people, and they had no protection and accidents. Hernan says, the terrain, they didn't know, and the animals that could kill them. Oh, yeah. The terrain. When you talk the terrain, you talk about like everything around them. They didn't know that. And the animals, what animals? Are the animals who live there? Could kill them? And who else do we have here? Lauro is here participating. I don't know, says Lauro. But what can you imagine? What kind of problems can you imagine, Lauro? Hernan, jaguars. Maybe. I don't know. We can look if the jaguars make a problem with them. Maybe it is a problem. Well, do I have here? Vicky, are you still here? Come and tell us your opinion. What obstacles do you consider that the Spanish crown have in the growth of the mining activity? Like, what can you expect if you... Caro says, I think that the obstacles were of the development of the silver. If they finish with the work, they need to enter more to the cave, and it was difficult. Yes. Nice introspection of that. The resources of people, the materials itself. As Anna says, they had a limited resources. And in some places, they didn't lack. We can be sure that they didn't lack people to work on it because they forced people to work for them. But they could have limited resources. Like if they need stairs or they need another type of things, maybe they didn't have it, so that could be an obstacle for that. And I think there's another question there, but I don't remember actually. Nope. Oh yes, the last question. What difficulties, and now we talk about the difficulties for the crown. Now, what difficulties do you think the inhabitants had with this new activity? Like the people who live there, not the Spanish people and not the crown people, the normal people, the average people. Do you think that they had difficulties? What do you think they believe? What do you think they feel? Do you think they feel scared? Do you think they feel, I don't know what could they think? So what difficulties do you think the inhabitants had with this new activity? Hernan says they were in a country they didn't know. Oh, but they knew it. They lived there, and they were conquered. The inhabitants, the people who live there, the Mesoamerican people. Do you think they had difficulties with this new activity? Imagine, Hernan, you're used to something, and then someone came and says like, you know what, you have to go and do ranching. Ranching was the word, right, that we used yesterday. Hello, Michelle. I think that the activity on mining was already hard for them. Oh, Hernan, you got it. You got it now. So what difficulties do you think they had? I thought the Spaniards. No. The Mesoamerican people. But we cannot call them Mesoamerican anymore because they are from the New Spain. That's a new civilization. I think the long work hours, the spread of viruses, the spread of diseases, and they didn't pay them much. That is correct. They probably felt used and abused because some weird guys just came and started using the resources. Indeed, maybe. I think that was a challenge for them because it was difficult for having the correct resources. Hernan says their valuable resources were being stolen. Yes, it is so sad. It is so sad, that kind of thing. But it leads to a good thing. The Spaniards didn't take showers. How do you know that? Did you have information about it? Or you don't have proofs, but you don't have doubts either? And well, guys, that's Hernan says European don't shower. Well, but they use another type of thing. And with these guys, we will have oh, I'm there. Interesting. And with this, we will have we will be continuing in our history class. We will talk about more about mining. We will talk about El Camino de la Plata. Make sure that you research, do a little research about what is El Camino de la Plata. And we will talk about the cities that had the most important impact in the mining cities that were the most important in the New Spain. And with these guys, with this section of the Liceo ends, I will see 8th grade B today at 12 o'clock. 8th grade A, I will see you tomorrow. Have a nice breakfast, have a nice day. Bye.